Tonight, college students across our state stand together.
They're honoring the two students killed at UNC Charlotte. Their families changed forever, their friends heartbroken.
This is the worst day in the history of UNC Charlotte.
We are Charlotte Strong.
Waves of support coming from all directions, including the Triad.
While students gather in grief, teachers march for change.
I was here last year, I'm here today, I'll be here however long it takes.
One of their several demands, invest in infrastructure. Why South Carolina might have the blueprint to success.
Plus, the Hurricanes extend their winning streak in round 2. WFMY News 2 at 11 starts right now.
Riley Howell and Ellis Paulier. They were students, sons, friends, both victims in yesterday's shooting on UNC Charlotte's campus.
We know they're gone, and police are trying to figure out why. They say the suspect, 22-year-old Tristan Terrell, did not know the victims. They do know the Kennedy building was his target. Investigators say Howell actually knocked the gunman to the ground but was killed in the heroic act. It gave police just enough time to arrest him. 4 other students were wounded in the chaos. One has been released from the hospital. Tonight, the campus community came together to process the pain and the shock. The raw emotion felt all over our state. Even through the grief, students organized a vigil on campus tonight. They knew their peers needed a place to grieve, honor, and remember. We were there as students started to arrive. There were a lot of them, many more than organizers planned for. Seeing them fill the seats of the basketball arena was a powerful reminder they're not alone. As the campus women's chorus sang through tears, students, staff, and families gathered to grieve. 7,500 of them known as Niner Nation.
We come together as a community and as a Niner Nation family, standing together with love and support because no one is going through this alone.
Individually, we all cope and process with what happened yesterday differently. However, as a collective, we are Niner Nation and we are Charlotte Strong.
University Chancellor Philip Dubois couldn't hold back his tears as he explained how this tragedy is affecting him and his wife.
As parents ourselves, Lisa and I grieve for the senseless loss of young life and share in the anguish of their parents, their families, and you, their friends.
They remembered the 2 students killed and vowed to keep their memory alive.
We can't bring them back, but with your help, we will find a way to remember their presence.
As 4 others recover from their injuries, Niner Nation vowed to not let this define them.
The days ahead will be difficult, but we will emerge from them. We will not emerge unchanged, but we will emerge united and stronger.
And it was actually really emotional being there. There wasn't a dry eye in the building as they remember their friends who won't come home and those who are fighting to. There was something special about seeing everyone in their UNC Charlotte gear as well. It truly was a moment that showed just how strong Niner Nation is. So simply heartbreaking as well. Well, after that event, students also gathered for a candlelight vigil. WFMY News 2's Alma McCarty was there and joined us live now on the UNCC campus. Alma.
Yeah, tonight there's a sense of unity here on the UNC Charlotte campus. Students, as you said, gathered earlier for a vigil where they vowed to assert, rather, that they wouldn't let the events that happened here inside the Kennedy building yesterday define them.
As a student here, you never think it'll be you.
After a day of darkness, the Niner Nation gathered at the Star Quad to shed light on love.
We cannot let this happen to another school. This ends with us. I want you to look to the left of you and tell that person you love them.
Yeah, this is something I needed, just seeing everybody here in support to unite with one another.
24 hours after a deadly campus shooting at UNCC, thousands of students, staff, and alumni came together after a memorial to also honor victims with a candlelight vigil.
Riley Howell, one of the folks who took charge of the situation, and he attacked the gunman and unfortunately lost his life for that.
I can't even explain how much bravery that takes, and I want to thank him personally for that.
UNC Charlotte students say selfless support, community, and love.
Because I love you, and we are Charlotte strong.
This will be their defining moment.
And knowing that we're not alone in this and that we have people here with us.
They're Charlotte strong, building a community with their strength. You could truly feel that love and that sense of community here today. Students were encouraged to talk it out, to lean on one another, and other people were told it's really okay to grieve, knowing that there's an entire campus behind them.
Alma, thank you. Here in the Triad, UNC Charlotte's sister school stood in solidarity. UNC Greensboro and A&T also held candlelight vigils.
Now, some spread messages of hope, others unable to comprehend their grief.
It's sad, really. I almost am out of words.
WFMY News 2's Jess Winters heard from students at both vigils tonight. She joins us live now from the Information Center with more.
UNCG students gathering tonight, writing messages of hope on poster boards to send to UNC Charlotte. 2 miles away, North Carolina A&T held a candlelight vigil and released balloons.
I think that when you experience anything very close to home, it's very triggering.
It's still close. It feels like the backyard of where it happened.
The first thing I did was call my cousin Joshua, who is a student over there at UNC.
I'm from Charlotte, and I have quite a few friends and family members that go to UNC Charlotte, and so I immediately started texting everyone to see if they were okay.
I think that in this day and age, it's really hard to have to think about the safety on our own campus as far as extreme acts of violence.
It's hard to think about that someone or some people lost their lives over something you can't plan for every day. And when you sit there and sit in that, you start to get emotional.
To see people come out here and pay their respects and support each other in community means a lot.
Some of us will be a part of the change that we need to have the number of these acts reduced.
We must work to make this world the place that we all know it can be.
Administrators from both UNCG and A&T said tonight that they have counselors on hand for any students who need them.
Jess, thank you. And more memorials from North Carolina and across our state, from PNC Arena to UNC Wilmington.
They shut out the lights before the Hurricanes game tonight as players and fans stood for a moment of silence.
At UNC Wilmington, dozens of students gathered on campus. Many say they know one of the injured victims. Others say visiting Charlotte may never be the same. Many UNCC students are still processing what happened on campus yesterday, including Jacob Pritchett from Greensboro. He was there yesterday, just hours before the shooting.
I had a workshop that I had to go to and walked right by the Kennedy building, which is where the shooting occurred. And in my 3 years there, there's no telling how many times I walked right past that guy and didn't even know it.
He knows one of the victims. Last he heard, he was out of surgery and doing okay.
Campus leaders lifted the lockdown early this morning, and though final exams this week are canceled through Sunday, students can forego their exams and accept their current grade as the final one if they choose. The accused shooter faces 2 murder charges and 4 attempted murder charges. He'll be in court tomorrow afternoon. We're still getting new information about yesterday's campus shooting. You can see our comprehensive coverage on WFMYnews2.com. As if students weren't dealing with enough, there was another deadly shooting just off campus tonight. One person was killed at University Village Apartments. It's near UNCC, but not affiliated with the school. Police don't believe there's a threat to campus, but the university sent an alert saying it's monitoring the situation. Investigators say the victim does not go to the school.
Now to other headlines around the Triad tonight. First, an arrest at Elon University. A student brought a gun to campus. Police got an anonymous tip about it. They found a shotgun in his dorm room and say no one was threatened. The student is charged with felony possession of a weapon on campus.
A Davidson County deputy shot and killed a woman last night. The sheriff's office there says she was holding a Sheetz employee hostage. Deputies say April Robertson was holding a knife to the worker's throat at the store in Welcome. A deputy shot her after she refused to drop it. The employee has minor injuries. There's hitting the streets to protest, then there's filling them. Tens of thousands of educators dressed in red packed streets from curb to curb in Raleigh.
WFMY News 2's Ben Briscoe was right in the middle of their march.
This is what democracy looks like.
From the start of their journey to Raleigh, educators saw today as a vehicle for change.
They've got to listen to us. And if they don't, then we know what other avenues to take come voting time.
Even as a bus broke down, leaving a group of Forsyth County teachers on the side of the road.
And all I could do is just pray that it get us there.
Eventually, they did.
Whose voice?
Along with tens of thousands.
Nobody else is going to do it for the kids. We are their voice.
I was here last year. I'm here today. I'll be here however long it takes.
The movement gaining the governor along the way.
And you deserve the support in the many roles that you play.
Let's find out where she is.
But the hallmark of the protest was when they went to find their lawmakers' offices.
There she is.
This is what it's all about.
Hello, I'm back.
A face-to-face meeting with senators and representatives like Guilford County's Pricey Harrison.
Guilford County had a terrible, tornado last year that demolished 3 school buildings. Right. So thank you for that support as well. I know.
Folks who've been in charge feel like they've done enough for teachers, but having been here before all the cuts were made, I realize how our education is suffering.
The group knows sweeping change is a lot to ask for, but they hope this demonstration will at least be a turning point. Now, most Republicans were behind closed doors today talking about the budget, and they did not meet with teachers. But they did post these signs saying Republicans have increased education spending by 28% since 2011. It's true, but teachers say it's a long way away from the budget they had before the recession.
Coming up, we're digging deeper into issues with school infrastructure. Guilford County, for example, needs $1.5 billion to fix them all. But our neighbors to the south say we might not need to break the bank. We'll find out why in just a few minutes.
The Greensboro skyline may look a little different in the coming years. Developer Roy Carroll plans to bring more apartments, more stores, and another hotel downtown. It's a $140 million project called Carroll South of the Ballpark. It includes hundreds of apartments as well as retail and restaurant space, even a new Aloft hotel with a rooftop bar and pool. The plan also includes a 20-story office high-rise.
We need more residents downtown to help our retailers. We need more hotel rooms downtown. And we need more office space to be competitive in the job market. So this overall investment and an announcement is huge.
Construction on the parking garage could start in the next few months.
A big milestone for the Business 40 project in Winston-Salem. The Main Street Bridge reopened today. They spent the last week pouring concrete and paving. Now they'll close a different one. The Cherry Street Bridge closes on Sunday. Detour signs are posted.
First day of May feels like the first day of, June, July, one of these things. Temperatures right now very mild for this time of the evening. Notice these 70s, especially in the cities. We often notice the cities cool down slower than the outlying country areas. Here is what I'm expecting for tomorrow. It's going to be a lot like today, a lot like the day before it. 60s early on, mid-80s for the afternoon. However, I will add just a very small risk of a shower or thunderstorm. That's primarily for the mountains and the foothills. 1 or 2 could squeak into the western Piedmont. 86 for tomorrow. I want you to hold me to that for your Thursday. But here's why you stick around. We have to talk about returning rain chances later on in the week. That's next.
Playoff hockey is back in North Carolina.
The Canes grabbed another win tonight, Luke.
One exciting night here on the ice inside PNC Arena. The Hurricanes were on the verge of taking a 3-0 series lead against the New York Islanders, but it would not come easily. Coming up during sports, we will break down everything Game 3 related and hear from inside that Canes locker room. You don't want to miss it.